You all wanted to get a better grasp on green energy, so we're going to dive deep into that today.
Yeah, we're going to try and pull out all the core concepts and stuff and really try to get at what it means to be shifting our energy economy over to these more sustainable practices.
Right, yeah. And hopefully it's helpful, because I know there's a lot of confusion out there.
For sure.
So, okay, first off, what is green energy?
Well, I think it's easiest to think about it like this. It's basically energy that comes from sources that are naturally replenished and crucially have minimal impact on the environment when we use them.
So it's like the good guy version of energy production, huh?
Yep, exactly. Think of it as the clean alternative to those nasty fossil fuels that are really messing with our planet.
Right, right. Because it's really all about reducing greenhouse gas emissions, isn't it?
Absolutely. That's one of the biggest reasons green energy is so important.
Okay, cool. So let's break it down. Your research highlighted 5 main types of green energy that we should focus on, right?
Yep, that's right. Let's start with the most familiar one, maybe solar energy.
Oh, yeah. Solar panels, those are everywhere these days.
Right. Well, there's a good reason for that. They're a really effective way to harness energy directly from the sun. Those panels convert sunlight straight into electricity.
Like free energy from the sky, basically.
Pretty much. And then we have wind energy, which uses those big turbines you often see to convert the power of the wind into electricity.
Yeah, those things are huge.
They are, and they can generate a ton of power. It's a pretty well-established technology, too.
So how about hydropower? That's been around for a while, right?
It's a more traditional form of green energy, but still incredibly important. It utilizes the force of moving water to produce electricity, rivers and dams.
So kind of like old school water wheels, but way more advanced?
Exactly. And then there's geothermal energy, which is a little more under the radar, but it taps into the Earth's internal heat to generate power. It's a consistent source of energy, even though we don't see it.
Wow. It's like the Earth is giving us free heat.
In a way, it is pretty cool, huh? And last but not least, we have biomass, which uses organic matter like wood crops, even landfill gas to create energy.
So we're talking like burning stuff for energy, right?
Yeah, but the key here is making sure that the materials are obtained and managed sustainably. Otherwise, it can actually be bad for the environment.
Okay, so those are the big 5 now. What are the main reasons why green energy is considered so crucial for our future?
Well, first and foremost, it's renewable, which means we can't really run out of it, unlike those fossil fuels that are just going to disappear eventually.
So it's all about long-term energy security, isn't it?
Precisely, we need a reliable and sustainable energy source for the long haul, and green energy ticks that box.
And of course, there's the whole low emission thing, which is huge for tackling climate change.
Exactly. Green energy sources produce very little to no greenhouse gases, which is essential for combating global warming.
So it's a win-win situation. Less pollution and a healthier planet. It all sounds fantastic, but what are the major challenges in making this green energy dream a reality?
Well, one big hurdle is the initial cost, setting up the infrastructure for green energy, like large-scale solar farms or offshore wind installations, can be pretty expensive.
Yeah, I can imagine those projects require a ton of investment.
Absolutely. And then there's the issue of intermittency, particularly with solar and wind power. Their availability fluctuates depending on the weather.
Oh, right. So on a cloudy day with no wind, you're kind of out of luck.
That's the challenge. We need to figure out ways to store energy for when the sun isn't shining or the wind isn't blowing.
So basically, we need better batteries or some other kind of energy storage solution.
Exactly. And that brings us to the third challenge, infrastructure. We need to upgrade our energy grids to handle the variable nature of these renewable sources and distribute the power effectively.
It's like we need a whole new system to manage all this green energy.
Pretty much the transition is going to require some serious innovation and investment, but the potential payoff is huge.
So we have these amazing clean energy sources, but we're still figuring out the best way to integrate them into our lives.
That's it in a nutshell.
It makes you think, doesn't it, given all the benefits and challenges of green energy, what innovations do you think will be most important in helping it take over? And how might those innovations impact our daily lives in the years to come?
I guess that's something for all of us to consider. Thanks for joining us for this deep dive into green energy.
Thanks for having me. It's been a great discussion.
And thanks to all of you listeners for tuning in.
See you next time.
Bye.